Okay. So prior to in 2012, I started accelerator called Venture Nursery. My first check in was OYO, and after exiting 250x in 2015, I realized there is opportunity as well as there's a need to do the acceleration at scale, and that is how I started Venture Catalyst. And here we thought, we bring the scale. Earlier we used to do maybe one investment a month. Now we're doing 10 investment a month, right? Venture Catalyst is around 220 plus portfolio. We reached out to, there was another reason. In 2016 when I started, India was just 10,000 startups. And it was maybe around 10,000 startups. And that time it was concentrated in maybe 5, 6 cities only in India. And India is not, I will say like Silicon Valley concentrated ecosystem. It's a very diverse ecosystem. India offers around 40 plus sectors. India offers close to around, I'll say 50 plus startup city potential. So we realized this and we went to open incubation centers and angel networks in 54 cities now. And we also realized there is a talent available there who can do great startups. So we got our first success story from Ahmedabad, Beardo, and now Rene, he's doing the next. Similarly, MyFitness from Silvassa, small cities, IGP from Lucknow, and all these companies become big, and we were the first to cut the first check, right? So we realized there is a massive need to capture the talent, entrepreneurial talent from tier 2, tier 3 cities, and that is how Venture Catalyst scaled in so many cities in India, and that was a need. And obviously, my expertise and focus has been always, early growth stage, and early stage, seed stage, and that is where we are focused on. And Nine Unicorn is just a form accelerator, which people call it more a replica for Y Combinator in India. But let me tell you, this is the next gen YC model in India. It's a $100 million fund. So, the startups, I realized they need three things. One, they need backing in multiple stages. So we back startup at least for 3 rounds. And one in idea stage, then the seed stage, and then series A stage. And that's, some of the companies, if they are doing well, and they're good entrepreneurs, they're able to raise their valuation to above $50 million in these 3 rounds, okay? And that's the most challenging area. Second, important part is find out the product market fit in idea stage. And you need to expose them to the CXO network. You need to expose them some of the best entrepreneurs. And that's where the mentorship part plays important part. So we run a strong mentorship program in collaboration with TiE Mumbai and TiE other chapters, couple of other chapters, as well as we also run very structured program, our own mentor network. But we also pick up talents from other TiE networks. Then third most important part is take these startups, guide them strategically. Where we have a founder level, all 4 founders spend significant amount of time with these startups to, sort of bring their mindset to make it a $100 million or $1 billion company. The fourth most important thing, what they look at is the global exposure. So we do roadshows across the global, whether it's US or whether it is Europe, Middle East, or Southeast Asia. We take our startups on a regular basis to these markets to expose them to the global VCs. These are a few things which help these startups and also become more mature and be successful. I think, if you learn from, the listed market, the valuation of shares there is almost every day they drop, every day they grow. The important part is to learn that, this valuation is just an indication of demand supply, to be frank, and also the performance of the company. If your company is scaling fast, you need capital. And to raise capital, you need to, raise it at a higher valuation. Sometimes what happens if the startup is a lot of demand, they grow their valuation very fast versus the revenue, versus the profitability. And that's where the challenge comes. So it is always, to learn that, if the market conditions are not supporting, you can mark down your valuation. That is not a challenge, okay? And you can raise capital. But more important thing is to raise capital at a time, right? And I also advise my startups to raise capital in an incremental manner. Don't go for a very, very large round, or maybe 50 million or 100 million. Just raise maybe 10 million or maybe 5 million, so that you can get continuous capital and you can just have an incremental valuation there and just be rational and also profit centric. So these are a few advices I give to my portfolio, so that they are on ground and they also make some of the best companies, solid companies out of that. So I say, this is not anything going wrong. When there's a stock market, which is never seen startups in the past, right? So when this was first time exposed to them, there was a rush to invest. Obviously, that helps you set valuations which are sometimes unrealistic. And the market is also learning. So are startups. This was the first phase of IPO raised by startups. But those learnings, I'm sure Indian entrepreneurs are one of the smartest entrepreneurs. Especially Mumbai, you see some of the most profit-centric unicorns are here, right? We have around 26 unicorns here, and majority of them are the profit-centric, unicorns. So yes, the worry is right that sometimes the valuation goes down. Let me tell you, but that is a learning, for these entrepreneurs also, because if they are profit-centric, their focus is also growth and profit-centric both. The valuations are going to stick and the valuations are not going to shake. So I think the future entrepreneurs who are coming, the next set of entrepreneurs going to raise, they're coming to realistic valuations. They also learn, with their experience. India is, it's always good to learn and, recuperate rather than, be in a situation where, you're not able to control it, right? So I believe that maybe next set of entrepreneurs who raise capital from, they will be able to sustain their valuation because they learn to become more realistic. Startup is also a big business, right? So fundamentally, the reason why we have such a low mortality, we always invest in entrepreneurs as well as businesses. We have solid business models, right? So if your business model is strong and there is enough chances of high gross margin, high EBITDA margins, right? So then fundamentally you will build a business, $1 billion company with a beta positive, right? I always believe that this learning should come quicker. Once you raise maybe 50 million, it is important for you to learn how to make it profitability. You should not be like waiting for IPO to come to learn, because then you sort of create a bad sentiment also, right? Because people believe that, such a large valuation company not able to make the profitability. So, it's because stock market, investors are more profit centric. And they've been trained like that, right? They've been getting opportunities like that, right? So obviously there is some learnings, and I hope the next set of IPOs which come from startups have great experience for the investors. Yes, actually, CXOs are the fourth most important element of startup ecosystem. A is a startup in itself. B is a VC. C is the angel investor, and CXOs. And I'll tell you why, because, their experience of building large companies benefits the startups. And, when they are as an angel investor in some of the companies, I always tell them, open doors for the business. So CXO community is very, very important. And we are lucky in 9 Unicorns, we've got some of the best CXOs who invested in our fund, including Apur Shah Maria, currently in Google, Walmart guys. And they actually helping our startup to become more realistic and focus on business. And that is really a learning for us. So I think the last, so this most important part is that, today close to 26 unicorns are in Mumbai and close to 60 unicorns, which is a significant, I will say, close to 20-25% market share. Another part is that we built some of the very successful startups from here. More importantly, now it's time for us to scale, right? Silicon Valley is a place which is probably the most costly real estate, but they're the biggest startup ecosystem in the world. Probably Mumbai has a potential to be the India's Bay Area, right? And we have our learnings in the first phase where we grown to a lakh startup. We were the third in the race, but probably when it becomes from 1 lakh startup to a million startup, our Mumbai will play the more active role. And the most important part is that because we have proven our startup hit ratio is very good, the chances are that we will be probably the leading, and not just India, but probably globally. That's what I can say.
For more updates from CXO TV, please like and subscribe to our channel.